Hello team, welcome to Moj's List of Technologies webinar session and workshop sessions. So today we're going to see about PHP and our trainer is Ashok Raj. He is having more than 10 years of experience in IT and development. So today's session it's going to be a PHP and you will be hearing some other offers. And the people who are expecting certificates needs to wait until the end. And once we provide the feedback form, you need to complete and submit it by today. So whosoever submits, waits until the last and submits the feedback form, they will be eligible for the certificate. Thank you all. Over to you, Ashok.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, HRB.
Thank you.
HRB, can I share my screen now?
Yeah, Ashok, you can.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, good evening all. I believe my screen is visible now to everyone. Is it fine, HRB?
Yeah, Ashok, we couldn't able to see your screen. It is loading. Just give me a minute. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. Okay. Good evening to everyone. So today, what is the topic we are going to discuss is that PHP web development. So we are going to mainly discuss on PHP and how it is being used for web development, and also we will see what are the advantages of using PHP and what is its market share. That is, how much websites are running currently on PHP and what are the career objectives we have. So we will also conclude with that how your career path can be designed if you have a knowledge on PHP web development. So that is what we are going to discuss now. HRB, the screen moving for you?
Still not Ashok. And also like you are, if you have dual monitor, you are seeing the PPT screen, not the presentation.
We're gonna have such fun today with 5 Little Ducks.
Hi, this is how can I able to see them.
Five little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away.
Ashok?
Yes, I'm just switching my screen.
Okay, okay, fine.
Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, so before starting the section, I will give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Ashok Raj, and I have 10 years experience in IT field and exclusive 6 years experience on PHP development. So basically, my role in this industry is that to design software and also to develop the software. So currently, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own concern called the King Phoenix Solutions. In our concern, what we do is that we develop products with open source. That is, we develop products mainly on Java and PHP. So we develop products and issue to the public. So as an achievement in my career, our organization is being selected as best entrepreneur of the year as well as a star achiever of the year for year 2017 and 19 respectively. So with this brief introduction about myself, I would like to start the session. So before going to the session, what is the main thing I want to say is that what are the things we will be covering in this presentation. The first thing what we will do is that we will not directly enter into PHP. Before entering PHP, I would like to discuss about what is actually web development. What are the key components of the web development? So after covering that, we will then start our actual PHP introduction. Then we will see what friends of PHP. Friends of PHP means PHP actually cannot work all alone. So it needs some other components. So we'll discuss what are they. Then we will discuss development tools. So what are the tools we require to develop a PHP application and what are the frameworks we'll be using. And I will also discuss what is exactly a framework is. Then how to start is that it is for a newcomers. So if you're going to study PHP, so I will suggest you a set of courses, how you can enrich yourself in PHP. And once you complete your course, I will also show you what is the actual market value of PHP and its career opportunities we have. So the first slide says that how a website actually works. So whenever we open a system or a mobile browser, you just type what is the website you need to access. So it can be anything. It can be facebook.com, google.com. So in a generic way, I have mentioned it as www.name.com. So whenever you type something, it goes to internet. Then your internet finds the server related to that particular name and it gives a request to the server saying that this particular client's asking a information from you. And this server can be a web server and a database server, or sometimes can be only a web server or combination of things. So in this web server only the PHP code exactly resides. So your PHP code is not going to be on your computer. It is not going to be on the internet. It is going to be on the server. So that is where we are going to write the code. So when something is requested to the server invokes the PHP code, executes the file, and it retrieves the output, which is in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS format. And that is what is being fed into your browser. So here I have shown you 4 different languages. One is HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and another thing is called PHP. So all these 4 components make a website. Why? Because in a website always have 2 types of coding. One is server side coding and another one is client side coding. So whenever something is done on your browser, that is responsible by client side coding, and whenever something is done on the server, that is done by your server side coding. So since your PHP resides in your server, it comes under category called server side coding. So whenever a PHP code is being executed, it always gives output in HTML format. The reason for that is that your browser can only understand a HTML format. That is the only reason. Not only PHP, any server-side coding will by default give output on HTML format so that any browser can understand it and display the output. So that is how actually a website works. So you may request anything and any server-side coding can be residing on the server. It then executes, replies the output in a HTML format, and that is what is being displayed in your browser. So this is how a normal website works. So now we are going to get into the PHP part. So before getting into PHP part, let us first understand who exactly created this PHP. And the person name is called Rasmus. So he is the person who first initiated the PHP language. So when someone does something, there must be a reason behind it. For example, if I'm going to take a coffee, there must be a reason. I might feel some tiredness. So there is a reason. So I'm taking an action. So when he created PHP, definitely he might had a reason for that. So what is the reason? He just wanted to maintain his own website. So he created his own language. So why he created his own language? Because he is just an enthusiast who wanted to create everything by his own. So what he decided is that he doesn't want to use a existing in those days there was only existing JavaScript or ASP, that is Java server pages or ASP. He doesn't want to use that, so he want to create an alternative language, and he created PHP. Initially it was he used only for his own website. Then later a community was formed around this language who exactly developed PHP as a public programming language. So it was the community who brought the PHP into public market. Since it is not held by any one particular person, it was a community, it was given as a free source. That is, anyone can download PHP and start developing their own application. So that is what we have mentioned it as free for development. Anyone can use PHP and develop their own web application as they want. And the third most important thing is that this is where PHP exactly outstands any other languages in the market. The thing is that the data type. See, data type in the sense, if you take Java, C, ASP, C Sharp, or any language, they are all mainly dependent on data type. That is, whenever you declare a data, or you're going to handle a data, you have to say it whether it is going to be an integer or a float or a string or a character or anything. So in PHP, there is nothing called data type. The data type is actually managed by PHP core all by itself. You can just declare a variable and give it a value. That's it. You don't need to mention anything about it. So based on the value you provide, it decides what is its data type. So that is the important feature it was added in PHP. And another thing is that it also supports object-oriented programming. So when I say object-oriented programming, it is simple OOPS concept. So OOPS concept is a powerful thing which provides any language about its modularity. That means code reusability is very much applicable in PHP. So if you write a PHP module for one particular project, you can use the same code without any modification on another project. That is what OOPS mainly gives. And another one is that MVC support. MVC support in the sense it is called Model View Controller. Whenever we do a bigger project, it always includes a database. It always includes a UI part. It also includes a business part. So PHP gives us a facility where we can divide all these three parts in a different section. So the development is very, very easy and updation is very easy. And in introduction part, why I have mentioned a company's name, that is Facebook and Tumblr. Why we have mentioned is that these are very two important big giants in social media. They were actually developed from PHP at their core. And not only developed from PHP, now they are part of the community and they are also providing support for the community by giving a predefined plugins and also fund development. So they are supporting PHP to grow very well. So that is why I have mentioned them on the introduction part. So this is just a non-technical introduction. So let us now get into the technical part. So when I come to technical part, so since it is a server-side programming, I would like to mention one of the key advantages of PHP on the server side. The server is also a simple operating system as we use on your personal laptop. In your personal laptop or a desktop, you will be using a OS called Windows 7, 8, 10, or Linux, Red Hat, or Mac 10, Mac 9, whatever it is. The same way, server is also running on a server OS like Windows Server 2012, 2020, 2020 R2, like that. They have their own servers. So servers also can be separated as Linux server, Unix server, Windows server, or Mac server, whatever it is. Application which is written on PHP can run on any server without any modification to their code. So once it is developed, irrespective of the server, we can deploy it anywhere we want. So that is what the important advantage of PHP. And another advantage is that it is purely based on C programming syntax. So why it comes under advantage is that any programmer will be at least having a minimum knowledge on C programming. So that helps us to learn PHP very quickly and very effectively, because most of the syntax, around 80% of the syntax is based on C programming. So it is very simple to learn PHP. And as I discussed earlier, there are no data types. There is only two data types. One is number or string. So it is very data type is simple. So data management is also very simple in that. And more stable community support in the sense that PHP is one of the largest community in the world of the programming. So whenever we have any doubts or any queries, there is always a strong community to help us. So how they help us? So suppose when I have some queries in my application development, I can just post it on the community. So anyone in the community, whoever knows the answer, they will reply me back, and I will use that answer and I will finish my coding. So that is how the community works without any payment. And powerful library support. So library in the sense, PHP has predefined codes for many actions in their own community. So whenever a community is there, it is not only giving you answers, you can also post answers. So for example, now if I have a simple code to send a SMS, so what I will do is that I will write the code in a more generic way and I will post it to my community. So whoever want to send a SMS, they need not to write the code. They'll just download my library and use it for them. So that is how a community works. So because of that community, the library support is very much powerful. And built-in database functions. So database plays a very important role in web application development. So PHP has its own predefined functions which can help you to simplify your database action. So you need not to write lines of code to connect to database. There are just something around 20 to 25 functions which can do all your database actions within a single line of code. And code reusability. As we were discussing in the previous slide about OOPS concept, the same thing we have mentioned here. Code that is being used on any other project can be used on some other project without any rewriting of the code. And another thing is API creators preferences. For example, when what we call the API is that application programming interface. Whenever someone creates a different API or a website, they will create a API so that other websites can talk to them. For example, take Twitter. Twitter is a web application. It creates API, and also they will give a support so that any PHP code writer can connect to Twitter. So like that, many web application, many large giants in the business, whenever they create application, they create API, and one of the first set of language they look into is PHP. So whenever you have a PHP knowledge, so that you can easily connect to big giants. So that is what API creators mean. And next thing is that frameworks and products. So most people just get confused here. This is the very crucial part of PHP. There are two things called frameworks and products. So first, let me discuss you what is a framework. A framework is nothing but a enriched version of your core PHP. See, PHP is available to public in its core format. So frameworks are something that it has taken the core and developed a framework around it, which enables you to write your web application in a more efficient way. For example, if a core PHP has something around 100 functions, in a framework, what they will do, right? They will create some more functions which can be commonly used by you, and they will give that framework to you to enable your application. So what happens, instead of using core framework, if you use your customized framework, your application development will can be developed within a reduced time and also reduced cost. So some of the most popular framework is that Laravel and Codingnator. So what they have done is that they have taken the core PHP, they have written their own functions, they have merged both of them, and they have created a new version of PHP. That is what we called framework. So a framework enables application development in a more faster and cost effective way. That is called framework. And what is called product is that in product, you need not to write even a single line of code. They directly give you the solution. So how they are able to give directly a solution? So in PHP, what they have done is that they have created many products like PHP building software, PHP website creator, PHP e-commerce creator. There are many sets of products we have. For example, if you take PHP e-commerce creator, if you deploy that in your server, automatically it will create your e-commerce website like Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it is. So you need not to write any single line of code. You know to just deploy it, then your shopping site will open. So you can just log in, upload your products, and start using your website. So that is what product is called. So in framework, there is no product. Framework enables you to write your application in a more efficient way, and product doesn't require your coding. It always has it. You need to deploy and start using it. So I have mentioned two popular products of PHP. Number one is WordPress and another one is OpenCart. So WordPress is used for creating any business website. So if some business person want to create a website, they can just download WordPress and deploy it in the server and they can start using it. So they need no need to write any set of coding. And in OpenCart, if they want to start a shopping website, they can go for OpenCart. So that is how these PHP products help small time businessmen to create their own websites without any line of coding. And another point is that in products also we can customize the existing coding and create our own customized website. So that is also possible. And coming to friends of PHP. So this is a very important topic. So PHP cannot work all alone. Any server-side scripting language cannot work alone. As we discussed, a web application involves two different parts. One is your browser and another one is your server side. And in server side, we also have a web server and DB server. So your PHP can manage only your web server. So there must be someone else to manage your DB server as well as your browser. So those things are called friends of PHP. So the foremost thing is that database support. So database support in the sense you need to have some space to store the information that is being fed into your website. For example, if you take Google or your Gmail, your Facebook, Twitter, we provide millions of data. So there must be some space to store their information. That is what we call database. So in PHP, mostly we use MySQL. We can also use other database such as MariaDB or MongoDB, but most preferential thing is that MySQL. So this is server part. So coming to the browser part, so there must be someone who can handle the website designs. So that can be handled only by HTML, JavaScript, CSS. All three in the combination, they will be maintaining your design part. So these three can give a basic design. But if you want to enrich your design in a more interactive way, we can use other bundles called JavaScript bundles or CSS bundles. And those bundles, mostly commonly used bundles are jQuery, Ajax, Bootstrap. So why we call them as bundles? Bundles are nothing but extended version of JavaScript or CSS. In JavaScript, if you're going to write something and it requires something around 10 lines of code, in jQuery, it can be done in a 1 or 2 lines of code. So that is what it is done in jQuery. So whatever possible in jQuery is also possible in normal JavaScript. Only thing is it is much harder in JavaScript. In jQuery, it is made simpler. That is what we called as JavaScript bundles. In CSS also the same thing. One of the commonly used CSS bundle is Bootstrap. Whatever possible in Bootstrap is also possible in normal CSS. Only thing is it takes much time. But in Bootstrap, everything is predefined, so we can directly use it. That is what we called bundles. So these friends of PHP along with PHP can give us a beautiful websites. So PHP cannot work alone. It needs all this support. So now if someone decides, okay, I'm going to take PHP course, I'm going to learn PHP. How is that they need to start? Where they need to start? how they need to flow. This is very, very important part. Whenever we want to start PHP learning, we should not directly jump into PHP. We need to first cover a basic part of HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So with basic design knowledge, we need to come to core PHP so that you will understand how a viewer will be viewing your PHP code. And after covering your core PHP, then we need to go into SQL concepts. Then we need to understand how to merge your PHP and MySQL. So this is how you need to understand the PHP so that you learn step by step and then so that you understand each and every point of PHP. After completing your merging part, then we can go for frameworks. Because if you directly go for framework, you will not understand how each functions work. So you need to understand the core PHP so that you will understand what are the functions mentioned in each and every framework. So this is how you need to cover your PHP. So we first start with the basic design, that is HTML, JavaScript, CSS. Then we'll go for a core PHP, then MySQL concepts, then PHP and MySQL, then we'll go for framework. So this is the perfect flow to learn a PHP. So now we have learned PHP. So to learn PHP, we need to have certain tools in your computer or in your desktop. So what are these tools? The first tool is called editor. Editor is nothing but a tool where you write your PHP code. So there are multiple editors currently in market. So I have mentioned just a few of them. The very famous one is Notepad++. See, Notepad++ is just an extension of Notepad, whatever we have in Windows. Only thing is that in Notepad++, we have a basic structure of your programming knowledge. For example, if you write keyword, it will give different color. If you write variable, it will give different color. So it can give you color sets so that you can understand what you are writing is correct or wrong. But those features you cannot get in Notepad. So Notepad++ is one of the feature. Other thing is that Eclipse and Adobe Dreamweaver is a paid version. Then we also have Komodo open source also. So why I have highlighted Notepad++ is that Notepad++ is a very, very lightweight editor, which does not take much memory in your system. So it will be very fast and quick to write your code. And also it has a ability called PHP plugin. If you install PHP plugin in your Notepad++, it will also give a list of PHP functions already it has, so that while learning, it will be very easy for you. And coming to the second and the third part, they are almost same. What is that is, so how to set your environment. If you're going to learn Java, you need to install Java in your system. If you're going to learn .NET, you need to install .NET framework in your system. Like that, if you're going to learn PHP, you need to either install WAMP or XAMPP. So both the names actually sound similar. The only thing is that WAMP is an exclusive PHP platform to be installed on Windows operating system. So that is what WAMP means. W for Windows, A for Apache, My for MySQL, P for PHP. When you install one software called WAMP, all these three things will be installed: Apache, MySQL, and PHP on your Windows OS. That is why it is called WAMP. And when you install XAMPP, XAMPP means the term X means extended. That means it can support Linux, Windows, Mac. All three it can be supported. And it installs Apache in your system. It installs MySQL in your system. It installs PHP as well as Perl. So all these four will be installed in your XAMPP. So my suggestion personally is that going for XAMPP. So that because XAMPP is a lightweight software, it can run on a minimum memory, but WAMP, it is not that case. It requires more memory when compared with XAMPP. So as a development tool to learn PHP or develop PHP application, my suggestion will be going for Notepad++ with a combination of XAMPP. And now we'll be looking into the career in PHP. So before getting into the points, I'd like to share a graph. This graph is updated one on 2021, this year. So according to this year report, around 80% of the websites are currently running on PHP. This shows its market value. So when we take 100 websites, you can nearly have 80 websites running on PHP. So that is the power of PHP. So now we can imagine why one single language has been given so much importance. The main reason is that it is open source, free of cost, it is simple, and it is lightweight. That is the only thing we have it there. So now we'll see what are the career opportunities we have. So we can become a web developer in any MNCs or any second level companies when we have a PHP knowledge. So when we say a web developer, if you have a PHP knowledge, you can coin yourself as a web developer in any MNC, you can place yourself in any MNC if you have a strong PHP knowledge. That is a sure thing we can say. And another one is plugin and extension developer. What is the difference between web developer and a plugin developer? A web developer role is that end to end. A web developer develops HTML code, PHP code, everything he develops. But in a plugin developer, the developer need not to develop end to end. He or she will develop only a part of a code. For example, as we discussed something called PHP products, OpenCart and WordPress. If some there is always a open space for WordPress and OpenCart. Anyone can create a plugin and insert it into the existing product. So that is what we called plugin or extension developer. For example, OpenCart is an e-commerce product. You can just deploy, start using your shopping site, and the customer suddenly wants to integrate WhatsApp into that. So there is the need for plugin and extension developer. So they will call a plugin extension developer. They will say, I need a plugin to connect my WhatsApp to the OpenCart. They can just develop, deploy, and use it. That is what an extension developer. So then web-based product companies. So there are more PHP product companies blooming in the market. What they will do is that they will create a product only on PHP. So those companies are just searching for PHP developers to drag in. And another one is API developer. So API developer is that he or she connects two different websites to work together. For example, Instagram and Facebook. When you create a post in Instagram or in Facebook, you can cross post it. Whenever you post something on Facebook, you can also make an alert on Instagram and vice versa. That is done by API developer. So in most cases, PHP handles those APIs. So there is also we have opportunities. And the fifth point is a entrepreneurship opportunity. Why I have highlighted is that if you're going to start your entrepreneur career on the field of programming, PHP can give you a more opportunity than any other thing in local market. Why I say specifically say local market is that within your state, within your city, when you have PHP products, you can easily push in because the cost of development is very low, the maintenance cost is very low. So you can just create and then you can just publish it. For example, if you see many classic feeds website, for example, OLX, your Quicker, Click India, mostly they are done on PHP. They are all small time developers. Just develop, publish your website, start earning it. So that is what PHP gives you. You can just search job. Also, you can continue your entrepreneurship career. So PHP gives both the opportunities for you. And to help you in your career path as a MJT, what we do is that we are going to provide a free PHP workshop next week. So in that workshop, what we'll be doing is that we'll be lively showing whatever we have discussed today. For example, environment setup. So how to make your laptop or your desktop ready for PHP development. We'll show you how to do it. And we'll also create you basic programming on PHP and show how to run it. And also we'll discuss how data is managed, how basic loops and condition works, what are the very important inbuilt functions in PHP, and also we'll discuss how to manage your PHP and MySQL database. So these things will be showing you in your PHP workshop, which will be really helpful for you into learning your PHP language. And other than free workshop, we also give paid PHP courses. we have divided PHP courses into 3 different types. The first one is a complete PHP web development. Complete PHP web development will be covering your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and your PHP MySQL. That is, it will cover design part as well as your development part. It will combine both the things. Or if you want only development part, I want only PHP and MySQL, you can just opt for the second one, server-side development. Or if you wish, I want only as a designer, you can go for web designing. It will cover only HTML, Bootstrap, and all other bundles. So this is how we have segregated our courses. So later, Hiran Bob will be explaining you the courses part. And now I wish to open the session so that if you have any queries, you can just ask it and can discuss more in that points. Hiran?
Thanks, Ashok. Thanks for the call.
Yes.
It was a wonderful session. I think like Tushar has raised the hand. Is there any questions to Tushar?
Hello.
Yeah, Tushar.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please. You can now. It is like open for Q&A, so you can put the questions.
Okay, sir, just sir had said that PHP has a product which is WordPress, in which we don't need any coding to design e-commerce website or static website. So why would we do coding for that? Why
Okay.
anyone choose coding over non-coding?
Okay, fine. So that is a very good answer. See, WordPress is a predefined product. What it comes is, it comes with a set of features, a common features. So when there are 10 different companies trying to deploy their WordPress website, all their websites will be looking almost similar because they are all using same product.
Okay.
So what they will do is that is where the plugin developers come in. So the plugin developers will come in and they will customize their website based on their own requirement.
Okay, so we can customize the PHP code inside the WordPress.
Yes, sure. Not only WordPress, it can be OpenCart or other products also. We can have 100% customization on that.
Okay. Sir, and can you clear me about API? I didn't understood that.
Okay. See, API in the sense that, see, now I have developed a website called mgit.in, for example. Okay.
Okay.
So now what my requirement is that whenever I create a event on my website, mgit.in, it must reflect in Facebook also.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm doing my action on my website, but it must reflect on facebook.in.
Okay, so
So
using data of another website in our website,
yes.
like
Yes. I'm going to feed my data inside mgit.in, but it must reflect in facebook.com. So that is where we create a API.
so, sir,
So
why can't we use their code in our code?
no, those things they will not allow. The reason is that for security reasons.
Okay.
So they will not publish their code. What they will do is that API consists of two different sections. One is the receiver, another one is sender.
Okay.
Here in this case, receiver is the Facebook. Sender is
Okay.
mgit.in.
Okay.
So whenever I feed a data in MJ18 sends the data to Facebook API, and Facebook API reads it and put it in their own website.
Okay. I understood. Thank you.
So this communication is between two different applications. That is what we call the API.
Okay.
Okay. And any other questions you want to raise?
No, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So is there anyone else who want to ask any questions? So the more questions we ask, the more key points we can discuss.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell the difference between web developer and the plugin developer?
Okay. Web developer is a larger scale. A web developer must have a knowledge on web designing as well as on web development. That is, the web developer must also have knowledge on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything else, and also on server-side scripting. But in case of API developer, the developer need not to have a knowledge on designing part, that is on the HTML or CSS part. The API developer can only do server-side coding. That is, they can do only PHP or scripting, other server scripting coding, and they can complete their operation. So web developer is the larger one, and API developer is on a part of that one.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, as you said that PHP does not depend on data type. Why PHP does not depend on data type?
Now you are asking why it is not dependent on data type, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it is not that it is not dependent on the data type. It does not depend user to say what data type it is. For example, when we are writing a C program, we need to say it is a integer or a double. User, the code writer has to say what type of data it is. But in PHP, the code writer don't need to mention what type of data it is. PHP will automatically understand what type of data it is. You are getting the difference.
Yes, sir.
See, in C programming, the user itself will mention what is it. But in PHP, the user no need to mention. The PHP will automatically understand what is it. So that is the difference here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So shall we have any more questions?
Sir, you did not give the full form of PHP.
Okay, see, this is a common question. Many ask me, but PHP does not has any official full form actually. Okay, but what they say is that it is a hypertext programming language. It is how it is for hypertext preprocessor. It is what it is called actually. Hello.
Okay, sir.
It is called hypertext preprocessor. That is what
And it's called
usually
as
say.
personal homepage.
But it is actually a personal homepage. Why it is called a personal homepage is that, as I discussed in the first slide, it is being developed by a person to maintain his own website actually.
Okay.
Actually, Rasmus developed it to develop his own web page. He named it as a personal homepage. Then later, when it was transferred to community, it cannot be anymore
Personal.
homepage. It was used for any other website. So later they termed it as a hypertext preprocessor.
Yes. Right.
Okay, if you if I want to give one more additional information, why they actually used that hypertext preprocessor name is that the output of PHP is always HTML.
Yes.
So HTML full form is actually hypertext markup language.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
since PHP gives HTML as output, they told it is a hypertext preprocessor. Preprocessor means it processes something and gives hypertext as output.
Yes. Right.
So that is why they actually coined like that.
And sir, yes, is this Bootstrap is a framework of CSS?
It is a framework of CSS.
So what is difference between bundle and framework?
No, both are same. Both are same. Both are same. I have just used the name bundle so that we do not have repeated names of framework,
Okay.
so that people don't get confused between PHP framework, what we have discussed on earlier slide, and this one.
Sir, can you let me know how much of time period is required to complete the whole PHP developer course?
It is based on like minimum we need at least 30 sessions to do it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
We need 30 sessions minimum.
Okay.
Why in the sense that when we learn PHP, we do not learn only PHP. We also learn MySQL concepts and designing concepts.
Yes, yes, right.
So it requires minimum 30 days. That is why.
Okay, okay.
That is the reason for the huge amount of time.
And sir, why don't we use MariaDB or MongoDB instead of MySQL?
Okay. The reason for using MySQL is that two things. When PHP was initiated by the community, the MySQL was holding the larger market space, so they opted for MySQL. That is the first reason. And
Okay.
second reason is that PHP was aimed to create lightweight websites. PHP has a lighter version of a database, so they opted for going for MySQL, and it is also open source. And on those days,
MongoDB is also open source.
yeah, MongoDB is also open source, but it was released late prior to it was the latest version. It is not available decades back. So now
Okay.
PHP has a possibility to connect with MariaDB or MongoDB. Latest version of PHP 8 and 7 has functions to connect those databases also.
Okay, okay, sir.
So they are actually extending their PHP versions.
Okay, currently it's something 8 point or something. No?
Yeah, stable version is 8 currently now.
Okay.
And as you asked that one, I will also give you additional information. There is a website called php.net. So that is the official community website for PHP.
But
So when
both are different, na?
what is it?
PHP and .NET?
php.net. So that is the official website of PHP. That is where we get official news regarding their extension of support and version upgrades.
Okay, okay.
So there we can post any type of questions, and also we can provide our support to other developers also.
Link, I guess. PHP.
Yeah, php.net. We'll also share you the information post this meeting. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So any other doubts we have? So we can discuss more on the topics.
And just to remind you, like, if you guys post this session after we provide you the feedback form, once if you submit it, we can able to provide you with the certificate for joining this. And also, like, if you take a snap of this and post it on social media, it will be helpful for us to provide more free sessions like this.
Sir, can I know where the class is located? I mean, your institute.
It is in, yeah, it's in Chennai, near the Park Hotel. It's on Nungambakam.
Okay, so if we enroll, we can get only online classes, right?
So currently we are taking only online classes because we want to be in line with government policies. Government has not still requested to open the education system yet.
Yes, yes, right.
So until then, like, we wish to be closed and we will take online sessions.
So, do you give the job assurance after
So
the
job
completion?
assurance means we will be helping you to get your hands worked on the industry. Okay. So industry based projects we will be helping you. And after that, to gain a full-time job, we will be helping you to set up your profile where the jobs are open. So all the information we will be providing. We are not supporting any kind of backdoors.
Okay,
Referral programs, yes, we do support, but not on backdoors.
okay, okay, okay.
And each courses we handle will end only with a live project. So
Means
whenever
80% of practical.
yeah, whenever
Not
we
just
take
practical, it is
not prac-
like a handle real-time project. Because as already Ashok has said, Ashok organization is completely with uh, development only. So you guys will be getting a hands-on experience with the real-time project. What is happening on the ground? It is not just
Sir,
a use case.
I want to know what is the expected CTC for a beginner PHP developer?
Okay, it is based on the company actually, CTC,
Okay, as
and
we consider
also the
MNC, like,
value. And thing is that I do not wish to mention something related to CTC or amount on a group meeting. So if it is any possibility, if you can just share your email with Kiran Rambabu, I will send you the details on email.
okay, okay, fine.
Okay, and any other
So
questions
to
on this
to be
webinar?
Ashok, I would like to answer that. So we cannot be specific to a particular amount when it comes to the CTC part usually, because as Ashok said, like it will depends on the project as well as the organization. But if it's a standard company which is of like for example more than 5,000 employees and more, and if it's a registered organization, so you
Yes,
will
yes,
be
I was
getting a
asking
minimum of
only for
like
that.
2.25 lakhs, which is like government norms.
Okay, okay,
If it is lesser, then the strength is lesser and or the projects are lesser, then you will be facing lesser. If you are joining some kind of MNCs, you may get something higher also. But 2.25 lakhs per annum is something like which is the standard, and if you are a BTech graduate.
so as we go in MNC as a fresher, how many projects the recruiter can expect from us?
See, as when you're going to join as a fresher, they will not be requesting whether you have any project experience or not. When you're going to join as a fresher, they'll be just testing whether you have fundamentals or not. But if you're going to join as a experienced person, they will not count number of projects you work. They will just count what is your contribution to the project, what you have done.
Okay,
For example, if you handle the matrimony website,
yes,
I'm just saying for example, but you have only you have worked only on one particular project, they will not consider the count of the project. They will just see on that matrimony what is your key feature, what you have handled personally, whether you are able to explain that or not. You need to explain what is the technology you have used, what is the advantage of that particular feature. So if you're able to do that, that is what HR will be looking into that.
okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
So always never mind about the count in IT industry. Actually, it is all about the contribution, because no projects is developed by a single person.
Hmm.
For example, in our own concern, if we are going to take a project, definitely it will not be developed by one person. Minimum 2 or 3 persons will be working on that. So the thing is that what is your contribution among the three? So that is what we'll be looking into.
Okay,
Also, you need to explain it to the HR so that he or she understands it better. So because it is not just about technology, you need to explain it in a colloquial way. That is what they'll be expecting.
okay, okay, sir.
So any other doubts we have?
Ashok, there was a question on the chat.
Sir,
Okay.
SAMP used to run the application in localhost only.
Okay.
So that was the question. Yes, XA
Okay. See,
MPP is used only.
XAMPP and WAMP are only development tools that is used to develop your software on your machine, not for actual live deployment. When you want to deploy your website to public, you need to buy a hosting. In that hosting, they will have a Apache server. In that Apache server, you will be putting into your web application. XAMPP also consists of Apache. The thing is that it does not need you to install separately. It gives you a predefined set of installations. So XAMPP and WAMP are not for live servers. They are only for development purpose that can be installed only in your personal PCs or laptops, not for live usage.
Localhost.
Yeah, it is completely for local. See, you should not call your system as local host. See, local host is something mentioned that it is in same mission. For example, server is also a local host for me when I deploy something in that. Okay, see, why we call local host is that because you type in your browser local host, right? That is why you are calling it local host. Is it right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, see, instead of localhost, you can also try 127.0.0.1. It will also work. Localhost is just a IP address of your own machine.
Just like domain.
Yes, just like domain. So it is actually running your machine. So when you type localhost, your browser actually search for 127.0.0.1. That is what it searches actually.
Yes.
Okay,
we
so
can see it on MySQL, right?
what is it?
We can see that IP address on MySQL.
Yes, when we open localhost/phpMyAdmin, you will be seeing that IP address.
Yes.
So don't call it as your system as localhost. Your system acts as a server actually. So since it is in your own location, we call it as localhost.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and shall we have any more questions?
I think there are no more questions. So what I'm doing is I'm just sharing them the feedback form, so which they can able to access from the conversation. Just can everybody check and confirm me on the conversation whether they could able to get the link. So can everyone confirm whether you guys can able to access the feedback form? Is that someone like who couldn't able to open the conversation and the feedback? Is there someone like that? Okay, hopefully then all the 25 participants could able to access it. So please submit the feedback form with this all this information. Uh, and I have also provided you with the fee structure. What is that student going to get? Who is that? I didn't receive, sir. Abhiram, you can scroll little up and you can able to see about it. So there is something called as feedback form. I will paste once again in case if you couldn't able to see it. I will paste it once again. So I pasted once again. Okay, any other questions, queries? We are like 7 minutes ahead of the time. Thank you.
Okay, Hiran, I just wish to add one more point.
Yes, please.
Okay, so to everyone, so in the screen actually now we are displaying what are the topics we'll be covering on the PHP workshop next week. So if you wish to add any other points on the workshop, I would like to get those points. So you can also mention those in the feedback form, or you can send the information to Hiran Rambabu so that we will include those points in workshop also.
Thanks, Ashok.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, if no more questions, we can call off the session and please submit your feedback. So that will be helpful for us to long run. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone.